Hey there guys, my name is Jack Beckwith and I'm a student at the University of Pennsylvania, originally from Menlo Park, California. This is my week 2 peer assignment for the Introduction to Music Production course on Coursera. I've elected to show you a few basic tools, editing tools that you can use in my DAW, which happens to be Ableton Live. I've pulled up a file here that I'm working on right now. It's a cover of one of my favorite Drake songs, Paris Morton Music, so I thought I'd use a few of the tracks here to demonstrate. So first, trim. Trim is very simple in Ableton. All you need to do is drag your cursor to the edge of a given clip, click, and drag right to left. Pretty straightforward. Separate. With separate, you simply click the portion or the point at which you'd like to sever the clip, Command E, and now the clip has become 2 separate clips. Next tool, crossfade. I'm going to bring my cursor over here to this drop-down menu, select fades. At that point you'll see these red bars show up, and here I already have a crossfade going between these 2 tracks, but I can adjust the length and the amplitude by clicking, and here I'm dragging up and down. I can also click and take out the crossfade entirely and just create a simple fade on one given track. So that takes care of crossfades. I'll jump back into the mixer mode here and continue with merge. So in order to merge 2 tracks, I'll simply select them both at the same time by shifting and then clicking on the 2 of them. Then I'll right click and use consolidate. You can also use the shortcut Command J. I don't do that quite as much, but once I click consolidate, it becomes a single clip. Next, we have grid. Now Ableton gives you a lot of functionality when it comes to the grid. Right now, if I right click, I can see that I'm in narrowest mode of the adaptive grid, but I can also select something like widest, and then, as you'll see, the bars are very far apart. And now, when I drag a clip, the audio file snaps to a very, very far away location. I can also select off. And when I do that, you'll see that the dragging is very fluid. So that makes positioning very finite positions very easy to attain. Next we have cycle. Simply select this icon towards the top right of the screen. Once you do so, you'll see that this comes up. And when I select it, I can drag it back and forth. And this, of course, determines the portion of the track that is cycled. And I can also adjust the length as such. So that gives you an idea of cycle. For markers, simply highlight the portion of the track that you'd like to mark. And then bring your cursor over here to set, select set, and you'll see that this little guy pops up. And at that point you can name it by right clicking and using rename. So I can name that start of singing. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Next we have zoom. There are 2 options for zoom, and I use them both. You can either use this little thing up here, drag back and forth left to right, and as you see the screen either expands or minimizes. You can also use a very handy shortcut, which I tend to like, Shift plus. And that will zoom in on the particular area where your cursor currently sits. You can also do minus to zoom back out. And finally, name and color. Naming a track, you can either do here, rename, and I could name this anything I want, Jack Sing. You can also do it here with a particular clip, rename, and I'll just rename this clip. Of course, before I was renaming the entire track. So 2 distinctions to keep in mind. As for color, I can adjust the color, say, of this clip by right-clicking and then selecting any color I please. So if I wanted to change to purple, there you go. So that gives you hopefully a little insight into trim, separate, crossfade, merge, grid, cycle, markers, zoom, name, and color. All right, guys, really excited for the rest of the course. Thanks so much.